Welcome to Salento with Love. I'm Davide Mengoli, and yes, it's been a while, but you know what? It's one of those things that if it feels right, it's right, and if it's not right, then you just need to wait. And I waited, and we are finally started one of the projects, one of the many projects that we're going to be involved in 2021, 2022, and maybe and for many, many years after that. The property behind me is part of this series here in the heart center of Galatina. How do you bring 14th century building into the 21st century? Well, I think let's go and see what's happening inside this amazing property here in the heart of Galatina. Well, getting a project started is always nerve-wracking. Getting 10, 15 projects aligned to start is even more nerve-wracking. But this one was, or is, I would say, the genesis of many more to come. So for weeks, actually for probably the last 2 months, I've been struggling to put things together, waiting for this to start. And you know, when you have an affresco going back 400 years on a wall of a property that's going to become a beautiful dwelling, well, little things like that makes you nervous, even if you have refurbished 10, 15, 20 properties like I have done in my personal life. So it's one of those moments. But you know what? We are into this entrance. Now they've started. And the first thing that we found is, if you remember, we have the basili. These are solid stone that came from near here, Salento. In Salento, we have stone coming from different parts. We got the Carparo stone from the Gallipoli area. We got the Tufo stone that comes from the Cutrofiano, Casarano area. And then we have the Pietra di Soleto. The Romans were already using this stone here to make the roads, the basili. You know those big blocks that you see when you come to Italy, anywhere in Italy? Well, it doesn't just come from here, from Salento, but here in the region of Salento, that's where the quarries were. And the first thing that we found by removing that horrible tiles that were here in the entrance is that we have found the original stones. Now I'm going to step through there. You're not going to see me anymore for a little bit because I really want to show you what's happening inside this 500 years old building. Bearing in mind, we're only at the beginning. This is day 3 of starting this project. This is the basili that I was telling you earlier, so you can see them a lot clearer here. These big slabs here, and we've just noticed that these slabs potentially carry on all the way here. We don't know what this is, but we will find out. But what I'm very curious, it's how we're gonna make this look amazing. This was all covered in those horrible marble that was used, well, probably beautiful in them days, but became horrible probably in a little bit later. But if you remember the previous video, you can see what the stairs look like. And now we have the original stone that probably monks or anyone that walked on this property, or the artist that painted this fresco, walked these steps and stood on that step while he was painting this. Isn't that amazing? You see this where they hacked everything off to, unfortunately, to stick the marble on top. Now he's left that, which we're gonna try to find out the best way to keep it and preserve it for probably hundreds of years to come. Now I think this is fantastic. I mean, it's just, even the patina that has been built over hundreds of years before the marble went on top, it's just so special. And this takes us all the way up. And well, I can never get tired of showing this, which is going to be protected. As from today, a board is going to go in front of it and it's going to be protected while this project happens. As I turn around, the stairs continue. Look how comfortable this step is as well. And wide, over 1 meter in width. Now, well, we'll see what happens when all this horrible plaster as well gets removed from the wall, but these guys are working hard in bringing this magic building together. And look at this bay, big slabs, 3 of them, 3 pieces stretching all over. I mean, what else can you ask for? I mean, marble is gone over the top. Look at this indentation here, hundreds of years of somebody putting their feet. So isn't it amazing? As you're walking through, first place you put your foot is there. And over hundreds of years, this has caused this. I think that it's crazy. Look, and we've got it again over there. But look how beautiful these steps are. Look at the thickness of these slabs and the size of them all the way across. And now we're getting into the beautiful part. Look at this, the main entrance. Look at this slab, how it's formed, and that little detail at the bottom. I think this is absolutely magic. This is borderline magic. And I'm ready to step in now and meet the crew. They're all in here. Now, straight away, loads of materials has been put there on the floor. They need to raise the level of the floor. And where is that material coming from? It's coming from a special room that they've managed to save the roof with the original poutrelle, which was one of the systems that was used at the turn of the century. So first of all, in here, we have this extraordinary star-shaped ceiling room overlooking the beautiful street in the old town center. And then as I come in through here, well, now it's not so fine to walk anymore because all this material is gone. So they're recycling as well by putting this material down rather than going and putting it somewhere and wasting it somewhere else. At least it's getting used. And you know what? It's fantastic to think that the material is staying within the building as well. Let me just introduce you to the guy. Guys are in here, working. Buongiorno.
Buongiorno.
Anthony, giusto?
Sì, sì.
Anthony, eh?
Luigi.
Luigi?
Angelo.
E Angelo. We have Anthony, Luigi and Angelo in charge of a 14th century building. Quindi voi siete in controllo di un immobile del 1400.
Certo.
Bellissimo. Quindi riporterete la magia.
Proveremo.
No, come proveremo? No, proveremo. Ce la faremo.
Ce la faremo.
Ce la faremo. It's beautiful. So let me just come into this room here. And I was telling you, where is that material coming from? It's coming from here. You see this? This is a system that was used at the end of the 1800s. It's called poutrelle. Actually, before I talk about the ceiling, the guys in there, Angelo, Anthony and Luigi, I memorized the names pretty quickly. They said, we'll try. I said, you're in charge of a 14th century building. You know, you've got to bring it to life again. He said, they tried. I said, no. We don't try, we succeed. And that's what they're going to do. These guys, they're amazing because they're also ahead of an extraordinary company that it's been selected to actually handle this very delicate project. And so I'm a big fan of what's going to happen over the next few months. So the poutrelle was a system that was introduced, a little bit of a transition period between the star-shaped ceiling and going over to flat. Metal became a big thing. So they used these big steel girders. But still, they didn't have the cement to put the cement over the top. So what did they do? They actually curved the stone and embedded each side of the stone into the steel girder, into the poutrella. And so if you look at the ceiling, although it looks straight, it's not. They're all little arches because they're actually working on the principle of static. So the weight holds the stone down. So you have the steel girders going across, stone embedded into the metal, arched across and embedded onto the other side. So now they've removed the plaster, they're going to clean up the stone and they're going to polish the metalwork, remove the rust, treat the metal, and bang, you're going to be left with a fantastic original ceiling rather than putting some white plaster over the top. So I'm very pleased with what's happening. Let's go and explore a little more about what's happening in here. So because we're going to do quite a lot of this and carrying it through for a bit of time, we're probably going to keep it pretty simple. So at the moment it's very important for these guys to get the dimensions right and the measurements right. So I won't explain very much about the floor plan because you'll probably see it as the video's getting done. But this door as well is going to be shut and this will become a beautiful kitchen as you probably saw it in the video before. So if you really want to see what this property is going to look like, keep looking the second video on the series of the refurbishment and then let's see if we can bring it back to that standard. So I'm going to wrap it up here, and I'm going to come back with some more developments. Just keep looking at the first one of remote purchasing, and you know, remote, what it's remote about. Because people think, oh, Davide, can you find us a house? Davide, we want to buy a property. It's not about that. Remote, it's really about being able to complete the whole process, regardless if it's just the purchasing or actually getting to the end line without throwing money away, flying, hotels, renting cars, talking to architects, builders, plumbers, electricians. That's what lawyers, notaries, everything, estate agents, realtors. That's what remote is about. I like to remove all of that. We live in the 21st century. Why should you be wasting your time while you can be at the comfort of your home, while all of this, it's happening thousands of miles away from your home, and it's happened in total transparency using one word, which is trust. Now, I hope you've enjoyed this second video of the series remote, I think it's called refurbishment, maybe, I'm not sure. And if you don't follow our YouTube channel or my YouTube channel, please do so. I'm going to try to do some more videos, and I must admit, the start of this project has injected some life back into me. So I've been running around. Now I can see some incredible things happening, planning my 2022, 2023, and a lot of other beautiful things. And I can't wait to see the eyes of those people that have actually trusted the process of remote refurbishment. Stay safe wherever you are. Until the next video.